Central of India, joins us now. Mr. Rohatgi, thanks very much. It's all happening on live TV, sir. We've just heard from the government. This was, of course, a recommendation of the SIT. Mr. M.B. Shah was with us a short while ago saying that he believes this addresses the issue of black money adequately. Your first reaction, Mr. Rohatgi?
I think it's a very bold and a very audacious move. It is as brave a move as the surgical strike. I think the Prime Minister leads by example. And in the last 2 years, so much has been done against black money and now against fake notes and terrorist organizations using this money that I think it's a great move. It's like a shock wave. It will obviously shake a lot of pillars, but at the end of the day, it's a cleansing exercise, and I think people will welcome it. A few days shock will always happen. You know, you have pain after some surgery, but then you recover, and this is probably a move which will show the world that this country really means business, and under the leadership of the Prime Minister, I expected great heights, and these heights have been achieved. And the most important thing is that it was a very well-kept secret. I was listening to the news, and my eyes popped out when I heard the Prime Minister. So full marks and kudos.
You had no idea, sir. As Attorney General, you had no idea that this was coming. There was no sort of conversation or consultation with the Law Ministry with you.
No question. I was the whole day in court. I came back home at 7:30. I was watching the news, and suddenly it said Prime Minister's address to the nation. You know, for a minute my heart sank because I thought it might be something sensitive at the border, some kind of a skirmish at the border. That was my apprehension. But when I saw this, and I was also astounded. And obviously, I know a lot of people in the government, but it was very, very well kept. And I think that is the success, because if it was leaked for a couple of days, then, you know, the benefit of surprise the government doesn't get, and then a lot of money can be laundered. But now, as of now, in another hour or so, this will be illegal tender, and I think it's a great move. It's like a shock and awe. It's like a shock and awe in a war, and I think there's no doubt that it's a brilliant move, like a checkmate on a chessboard.
You've called it many things, sir. You've in fact even compared it to the surgical strike undertaken by the government. But Mr. Rohatgi, you know, we were speaking with Justice M.B. Shah, the head of the SIT, on black money. There are several other recommendations as well that the SIT has made. But do you believe that this now addresses a large number, or at least the #1 concern, in the war against black money, or do you believe that we will need to take forward some of those other recommendations as well?
Well, no, I think a lot has been achieved. Please understand that this is not even 2.5 years of the government. I mean, governments have come and gone for the last 70 years. In 2.5 years of the government, it has taken a large number of bold moves. And since I have been appearing for the government of India in the black money case, and have interacted with the reports of Justice Shah and Justice Pasayat, who are two of our very respected judges, retired judges of the Supreme Court. We have not only this domestic business, we have had a large number of agreements with foreign nations. There is a constant exchange of information, and one of the latest ones is called FATCA, which is an agreement with the U.S. And all our people in the U.S. and all U.S. people in this country, there will be a ready exchange of information in regard to every transaction which they do on a daily basis. So it's not only just a domestic squeeze, it's kind of an all-round, well-rounded operation. Obviously, you know, things have to take some time. You have to sink in. People suddenly will start realizing that you no longer have the money to splurge in five-star hotels or in shops and all that. So this will ultimately stabilize the economy, and according to me, it will strengthen the rupee in the world market.
How much does this have to do, Mr. Rohatgi? And I don't know if you have that information or not, but our colleague Timsy had broken that story earlier today, saying that the Financial Intelligence Unit had written to the Finance Ministry saying that suspicious transactions had gone up 13 times over the last 5 years, involving the public sector banking system largely, and cash was one of the big concerns, and the FIU telling the Finance Ministry and the government that it must act on the recommendations of the SIT. Do you believe that this is linked essentially to perhaps the intelligence that's coming from the FIU?
See, I personally don't have much information about the FIU, but one thing is clear, that this move has been spurred on by a large number of events. Every couple of months we read that banks are used in this country for effecting hawalas abroad, over-invoicing, under-invoicing. All that is now occurring through banks. It is occurring through, RTGS. All kinds of ingenious schemes are coming in. So with this kind of stuff going on, plus, according to me, from what I heard from the Prime Minister, terrorists using this money and fake money is also a very big issue. So all these things taken together lead me to believe that a very drastic step was necessary. And this drastic step has been taken in a calculated fashion and obviously in great secrecy. So that's what I would like to say. These are
Thank you very much, Mr. Rohatgi.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rohatgi, for joining us. That's the Attorney General of India, Mukul Rohatgi, saying that this is shock and awe on the part of the government. Anil Agarwal of Vedanta, the chairman of Vedanta, also joins us. Mr. Agarwal, thanks very much. Mr. Mukul Rohatgi, the Attorney General, calling it shock and awe on the part of the government. Sir, your first reactions?
Beautiful move. Everything will be channelized with the proper. I don't know whether the 20% or 30% was not reflecting. The whole thing will be channelized in a proper channel. The corruption will be absolutely minimal. This cannot be better move. And the way the secrecy has been maintained, you will see how the India will proceed, and how the rupee will be strong with this move. And I have a very strong feeling that the investment and the growth will be in the right track.
Okay, you believe that the rupee will strengthen and this will give a further fillip to the Indian economy, Mr. Agarwal?
Absolutely, absolutely, because everything will be channelized, no? Everything will be channelized at the moment, the tremendous leakage which happened, and Mr. Modi has said very categorically, and now everybody is remembering, he says stern action will be taken, whoever is not declaring the black money, and that's what he has done. And this shows how determined this government is there. It will create tremendous economic boost to our country. And the biggest thing will happen, as I'm saying again and again, the corruption will be addressed through this. Investor will be very comfortable investing in India because they know that there is a one track.
That is right, sir. You're saying that this will be a big move to break down the parallel economy, which has been a curse for India, and this will provide a fillip and a further boost to the Indian economy. Mr. Agarwal, how do you see foreign investors reacting to this move, sir?
Yeah, because when foreign investors come to India, they know how to purchase the land, how to deal with the parallel economy, then they deal with the corruption. Now they'll be very, very confident.
Right. Mr. Agarwal, I'd request you to just hold on, sir, for a second. We've got Chanda, Kochar joining us. Chanda, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18. This is a big move, but specifically from a consumer's point of view, Chanda, and we're being inundated with queries and questions from citizens, from customers on what they should expect now, how should they go about this process. If you can share with us details, Chanda, on what happens starting tomorrow to a regular consumer.
Well, I think first of all, I must say that I really welcome this announcement made by the PM which has been made, and it's perhaps the most significant move ever taken to curtail the parallel economy or black money. I think it's a game changer because it will have an impact not just on the black money or parallel economy, but it will, in that sense, start, moving more and more payments transactions to the electronic form. And I think that will augur very well for the economy. I think it will bring about a structural change. Well, to your question on what the customers have to, expect tomorrow, I think we have to recognize that when such a big structural change takes place, we will have to do it in a very focused and a very seamless manner. What will happen is that tomorrow, while the banks will be shut for customer-facing transactions, that will be the day available to us to actually withdraw all the older 500 and 1,000 rupee denominated notes from whether our ATMs or branches and so on, and stock them up with the other notes, the 100 rupee notes that will be available in the system. So, after a day, the customers can actually withdraw these notes and use them. I think that 2-3 very good things that have been done. One, that certain limits have been put, for the next few weeks. And I think that's a very important and a useful thing to do, because that will just ensure that to the extent that the other notes are available, they get more evenly distributed to all the customers, so that customers are not inconvenienced. Also, I think the good thing that has been done is to say that the emergency requirements, whether it's the hospitals, the petrol pumps, etc., will still accept this cash even tomorrow. So I think the banks will get geared up. They will have to implement it in quite a focused manner. But, we've done this in the past in various ways. We've gone through this whole clean currency drive where we substituted all the old notes with new notes and so on. So the banking system will gear up, and I think we will do it in as much seamless manner as possible.
Chanda, we've got a question that's come in from Kunal, and Kunal asks us, when will the new notes be in circulation? So you're saying that the banks are going to be shut for a day and the withdrawal of new notes can start, say, Thursday, right?
So the withdrawal of notes can start on Thursday. Yes, part of it would just be the older 100 rupee notes that the banks would give out, and part of it would be the new notes to the extent they are available. Yes. But the customers can start withdrawing from day after. Yeah.
So customers can start withdrawing from day after is what you're saying. More questions, Chanda, coming in. The government has decided to do away with the 1,000 rupee note but has brought in a 2,000 rupee note. What do you believe is the rationale behind that, Chanda?
No, actually, more than the denomination, I think it's the security features in the new notes that have been enhanced substantially. Why, in fact, I said that this is really a game changer and a very significant move is because the impact of this move is multi-purpose. So, this is also aimed at reducing and curbing counterfeit currency. And the new notes are really have much more inbuilt security features, and that is really the purpose of the new notes.
We had the Secretary of Economic Affairs, Chanda, on the channel talking about the process that banks will now follow. For instance, when somebody was to go to a bank counter, can you explain to us by way of identification, presentation of Aadhaar cards or PAN cards, etc., what is the process that consumers will need to follow?
Well, the customers will have to come with a proper identity, and this is again to ensure that the customers are either depositing cash or withdrawing cash from their own accounts. So they'll have to come with a proper identity. And secondly, as I mentioned earlier, that there are certain limits on how much you can withdraw per day and how much you can withdraw per week from now till 30th December.
Can you just share that for us, Chanda?
Yeah,
for the benefit of our viewers who may have just joined in, can you recap that for us?
Yeah, it will come up really in the guidelines, but as we understand now, it's going to be 2,000 rupees per day or 4,000 rupees per week. But, we are also getting the guidelines as we speak, yeah.
Yes, we are also awaiting those guidelines. Chanda, also a quick question. Again, the Secretary of Economic Affairs seemed to suggest there, not very clearly, I would imagine it's part of the operational guidelines, that the information that the banks get when someone actually comes to them will then be shared with the government, with the tax authorities. Is that accurate?
Well, I think, Shirin, we should wait for all the guidelines, but we should understand that there are, in any case, currently certain guidelines, where the banks have to share the details when the cash transactions cross a certain limit. So there are certain guidelines which already exist, and, the banks will, in any case, continue to follow those.
Again, Chanda, a lot of comments coming in with viewers feeling a little uncertain, unsure, perhaps a sense of panic as well. What would your advice to them be at this point?
Well, my advice to them will be that, the country is undergoing or going through a major structural change. This change is a game changer and very good for the long term. I think in this interim process, we all have to be patient and handle this process a little bit smoothly. What the government and the RBI and the banks are doing is gearing up internally to be able to meet the customers' demands. And I think, look, the currency chest internally for us to handle the entire currency handling is going to be actually open from 8 a.m. tomorrow. So I think the ecosystem is actually putting in place every possible infrastructure that is required to make this happen in a seamless manner. But yes, we will have to be also have to be prepared with the fact that we will get certain amount of currency over the next few days, because it's important we do this so that we can ensure that the currency is distributed amongst as many number of people as possible. So I think if we exercise a little bit of patience and the whole ecosystem gears up towards it, we will be able to handle it. I think we have to look at the long-term structural very significant impact that this will have on the economy for the positive.
Let me end then by asking you, Chanda, in your estimation, everyone's talked about this being a transformational reform, a big bang reform. What will it really mean as far as the real economy is concerned, in the medium term?
Well, I think, as I said, it's really a big bang, significant game-changing move, because one, of course, it directly, in a way, impacts the parallel economy. The second is, the counterfeiting of the notes. The third is it actually encourages payments to move to more electronic channels. So, while, one may not talk of cashless, but we are saying that we can become less cash economy. And clearly this enables that move to take place. And I think overall, in the medium term, certain cooling effect, further little bit of cooling effect on inflation, and I think it can really have much larger impact, positive impact on the macroeconomic indicators.
Chanda, already we are getting reports from our colleagues, our reporters, suggesting that there are long queues outside ATMs already. So it's been, about an hour since the Prime Minister spoke, and there are long queues outside ATMs already, Chanda. Do you anticipate that there is going to be some stress, really, as far as the banking infrastructure is concerned? Are your teams already, up and running?
Hello, line has got disconnected.
Well, we've lost that line there with Chanda Kochar, but that was Ms. Kochar explaining to us what the process is going to be. It will be painful, at least over the next few days, but patience is required. Mr. Kishore Biyani also joins us now from the Future Group. Future Retail has announced that they will be keeping their stores open till midnight tonight, accepting 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. Mr. Biyani, thanks very much for joining us. Is that accurate information, sir? Is the Future Group keeping its stores open till midnight tonight?
We got a lot of customers calling us up and asking us. I think they will have a lot of issues for the next few days in terms of their shopping for daily needs. And we thought in the interest of the consumers, we should open the store till 11:50 today.
And is this across India, Mr. Biyani?
I think we are having also lines and queues coming in our stores. It's across India.
What are you seeing on the shop floor, Mr. Biyani, at this point in time? Are you sensing, uncertainty? How are you coping with this?
I think it's very, very chaotic. We were on conference calls with all our stores, all our managers, talking to them, trying to understand what to do from tomorrow, because life will be very different from tomorrow. than what it is today. And it brings about a lot of changes to the way we do business, because in India, the credit cards are only 20 million, 2 crore. And credit card businesses for us in some stores is less than 20%, and some stores it's around 30%. So 60 to 70% of business comes in cash. And the world is going to change tomorrow onwards.
You know, talking about the world changing, and you're very right when you say that, what do you anticipate as being the big problems? And also, we're still waiting for the government to issue its operational guidelines. What is it that you would like to see by way of fine print?
I think, for me, the way I look at change is the society can accept change at a certain pace only. It takes time, otherwise there is a panic in the society, and that's what we are seeing today. I think the change has been too sudden and too swift, I would say. So giving no time for people to understand it, do anything. I think there will be a lot of clarity maybe tomorrow, day after, where things will settle down.
Yes, you know, the Prime Minister explained the reason for the secrecy and the reason for having to do this in such a swift manner, Mr. Biyani. But purely from a business and an operational standpoint, as you said, your life is going to practically change starting tomorrow. What will it need, you know, what kind of changes will you need to make, sir, from purely an operational standpoint?
I think we have given instruction not to accept the 500 rupees and 1000 rupee denomination note, and we have to seal all our notes today, all our instructions. Our treasury has taken control of all the cash in the system. Nobody can swap the 100 rupees note. So we are taking our precautions because we do collect a lot of cash every day in the stores. And we operate more than 2,000 stores, and there is customers throughout the day. So I think it's we are trying to grapple with the situation, to be very honest.
What kind of clarity would you require, Mr. Biyani, from the government?
I think what we want is basically consumers should be, we are looking from a consumer's viewpoint. We will handle our part. But the consumer, I think tomorrow onwards will be inconvenienced for the next few days to shop. They won't have money to shop. And anybody
they won't
wants
have
something.
money to shop, but of course, yeah. Go ahead, sir.
That will be a big issue. I think even I'm in a restaurant right now, checking up with people out here. They're all discussing the same thing. My drivers are worried. I think everywhere there is a panic right now. So how do they buy anything tomorrow?
Yes,
how do they buy medicine tomorrow? What do they do tomorrow? Because 500 rupees was the
for medicines there has been at least a little bit of a relief and a relaxation that's been made, but perhaps not enough. But yes, there is.
I think people will have to buy grocery tomorrow. People have to eat something. So it would be, there would be challenges. I think it will be 1-2 days of little bit of chaos, and people will, there will be answers after that probably.
All right, sir, you've got a long night ahead of you, as do we, and it's going to be a long night for most customers as well. Appreciate you joining us, Kishore Biyani. They're saying that they're keeping their stores open till 11:50. Let's now go across to our colleague Priya Sheth. She's outside an ATM.